Hey everyone, welcome back to When Creatives Thrive, a BOPA podcast. I'm Stuart Rustin, the multimedia manager at BOPA, and this episode we're joined by Ainsley Burrows. Ainsley is a poet, musician, performer, and painter based in Baltimore. We begin with his childhood experiences in Jamaica that informed his abstract style and point of view. We then discuss his move to Baltimore from New York and why this city was the best next step in his creative journey. We also reflect upon Ainsley's 2024 exhibit, The Third Future, a self-portrait. This show was on display at BOPA's Gallery in the Sky at the top of the world observation level last fall and featured host Lisane Basquiat at the opening. Later, Ainsley explains his approach to abstract painting and how the size of the canvas he chooses often shapes the stories he tells. We finish with what Ainsley imagines Baltimore's third future could be. Hey Ainsley, welcome to the podcast.
How are you doing, Stuart?
I'm good. Thanks so much for being here. I know I've known you for a little while, and I know you're a very multi-talented person. You paint, you write, you do poetry, you produce a burlesque show with your partner L'Oreal, who's also here in the studio with us today.
L'Oreal in the building.
She is in the building. You're sort of like this creative superhero. You've got all these different powers. You like that?
You know what?
So my question is, what's the origin story?
I was born in Jamaica. I grew up around a lot of older people. So like my aunts, my uncles, my great-grandmother, my great-grand-uncles. And all of them, they live in the countryside. So I used to go to the countryside like in the summertime. And it's like walking into a metaphor because nobody spoke like in straight, plain English. If you're not supposed to do something, they don't say, don't do that. They'll give you some crazy metaphor that you had to figure out. And I think being in that environment kind of wired my brain towards creativity. Like, it's almost like anytime I look at something, even if I want to think about it as it is, my brain would always move towards a metaphor or abstraction of the thing.
We've known each other for a little while, and this is honestly one of my favorite stories that you've ever shared with me. Do you remember any specific examples of those kinds of parables?
It's a billion. I can go on a list of them, right? So the first one, the simplest one that you hear all the time in Jamaica, they say, "Was sweet nanny goat a go running belly," right? And the translation in English is like, there's this goat running around in the yard that's super happy, but because it's eating everything and it feels great, but it's like it doesn't know it's going to get diarrhea. So imagine as a kid hearing that, and you have to kind of like figure out what all of this means.
What does it mean?
It means that you might be out here having all this fun and doing all this crazy stuff, and you know everything is great, but you gotta be careful because there might be diarrhea down the street, further ahead,
right?
Or there might be trouble ahead, or there might be some problems or some issues ahead. So it's about better be careful. That's all it meant. Just be careful.
And do you still think about that today?
It's not that you don't even think about it. It's just a part of who you are,
right?
And like you process it. And you don't even take a lot of time to process it anymore. It's just like something that's like, bloop, and, you know, like.
Interesting. It's like an autocorrect.
Yes. Your brain just automatically, that's going to be an issue.
Here's a little mailbag question that came in from our Senior Director of Marketing, Tia Goodson. She wants to know, Ainsley, if you were a color, what would it be?
I don't know. I think if I was a animal, I'd be an octopus.
Would you?
Yeah.
Why?
Because octopus are brilliant as hell. I think octopus, like all of humanity, came from the octopus. I think they morphed themselves into all the creatures in the ocean because they're able to like change their bodies into all kinds of different things.
And so they're masquerading as the different animals on Earth.
So they became all the fish, all the whales. They actually came out of the water and became all the animals on the earth. They became the trees because they're read up about octopus. They're insane. And they're made out of all brains.
Right.
Yeah, their entire body is just brain.
Yeah, they're kind of freaky. I mean, they're like smart little animals that
Yeah.
somehow we end up turning into calamari, unfortunately.
That's the smartest meal you could ever have.
Seriously.
Yeah.
I was curious if we could talk a bit about your move to Baltimore.
Yeah.
You sort of did the opposite of what a lot of people do. You know, they migrate to New York,
Yeah.
whereas, you know, you decided that Baltimore was the move.
I've been coming to Baltimore for a while, and the art community is very welcoming, very alive, very vibrant, super creative. So one of the major things, the two major things was to get more space, studio space, because I was making larger works. And, you know, New York, like our entire apartment was filled with paintings. And then the art community is like, I've traveled all over the country, a lot overseas, and I think Baltimore might be one of the most welcoming cities in terms of just like the people, just the energy of the city. And I needed that at this time in my life. So when me and L'Oreal talked about going to different places, like the moment I said Baltimore, L'Oreal was like, yes. Because we thought about a bunch of other places, Detroit, Chicago, we thought about DC, Philadelphia, but Baltimore just had all the right things.
I wanted to pivot a touch.
Yeah.
So the Top of the World observation deck, home to the Gallery in the Sky, one of, I would say, BOPA's staple flagship galleries. So unfortunately, the Top of the World is closing soon.
Oh.
And I thought that this was, you know, a great opportunity to talk about some of the incredible work that's passed through that space.
Yeah.
So you recently had a show there called The Third Future, a self-portrait. Can you talk about being an abstract painter, what it means to work as an abstract painter and create a self-portrait?
So I think that in a sense, all art is a form of abstract art because it's only reality and everything else is an abstraction of reality. Whether it looks exactly like reality, it's still a facsimile. It's still a copy of reality. So it's almost like it depends on how much you are able to distort reality, whether you are Michelangelo or you're Jackson Pollock. And they're literally doing the same thing. It's just that some people have more distortion in how they present reality. So the self-portraiture that I do or self-portraitures that I've been through a kind of filter where you say you take away the light or you splinter the light or you put the volume up and you put some reverb on, you put some echo, you put all these things in and the picture becomes blurred. So now you're not dealing with what the eyes could see, you have to deal with what the mind could feel or what you could feel in your body. Like, so sometimes people get gut feelings, whereas you go into the primal part of human existence, right? So it's still all the same thing. It's just how many filters are you able to put it through and have it still make sense.
Was there any piece that appeared in The Third Future that was particularly meaningful to you or felt as though it kind of captured your essence?
I think different ones for different reasons. But now that when I think about it back, the thing that's popping in my mind right now is revival. Because I remember that moment so vividly as a kid. Like, I remember being like 4 or 5 years old and going to like a Pentecostal church and people having the they call it the Holy Ghost, or they start speaking in tongues, and it's all this energy.
How did the revival, that scene, that transfer of energy, how did that, if you could describe to somebody listening to the podcast, how did that end up translating into the visual medium?
So I give you the exact way it feels, right? Jamaicans speak a version of English they call patois, right? And there are things I could say in patois that I could never translate to English. Like I could say, look here, right? And in Jamaican they say kuya. Ku itself isn't even a word. And ya is here, But when you put kuya together, it makes a completely new meaning that you could only understand it if you understand it, if you experience it. So it's like that. Some of the paintings, trying to explain some of the paintings, or the process is sometimes difficult. And the easiest way I try to explain it is just that I just go with what I'm feeling, and it seems random, but it's not, because it's something that my brain has been practicing for a long time. So I'm able to compose a feeling on a canvas because I've been practicing that for a long time.
I thought that the way that the pieces and the size of the pieces and the space up in the observation level of the top worked really well together, because some of them took up like long stretches of wall.
Yeah.
In some ways, they're sort of overwhelming to look at as an observer, because you're not used to seeing art displayed at least I'm not used to seeing art displayed at such incredible scale. How does the size of the work relate to the way that it's maybe supposed to make the viewer feel?
Oh, I think sometimes the size of the work is connected to the size of the idea. So like there's some paintings that, like, I have an idea, I want to do something, and I know this canvas wouldn't fit the idea. And if I did do it on a smaller canvas, it wouldn't feel the same. So it's like some canvases are novels, and then some canvases are poems. And I could write a poem and you could be like, it's a great poem, but it just couldn't, it might capture the idea, but it can't expand, give you the expanse of a novel. So like some of the bigger pieces is, of course, these are bigger ideas. Or I'm doing a painting about the long and complicated history of America. It could be 36 by 36, but it'll be like writing a poem about America. If I'm gonna write about the long and complicated history, that's a vast topic, right? So I have to kind of match the emotion sometimes, or the ideas, with the canvas.
And that seems appropriate too, especially when you're talking about self-portraits.
Yeah,
Do you really want to squeeze
yeah,
yourself into a smaller piece?
yeah,
Or do you want to, honor your
Yeah.
history with a large canvas?
Yeah.
Because there's probably a lot to say.
and sometimes the point of certain things is to take up space,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, definitely.
And it's interesting because even some of the issues that I deal with, they're on smaller canvases, but they're smaller for a reason, because I haven't thought a lot about it, or it's new to me. Like I wrote a piece about my father passing, and it could have been longer because it's a complicated relationship, but where I'm at right now, it had to be, like in that kind of frame.
Your opening had a special guest.
Yeah.
I'll spoil the surprise. It's Lisane Basquiat,
Yeah.
who is the sister of Jean-Michel Basquiat.
Yeah.
That was pretty incredible.
Yeah.
What was it like being up on the stage in front of, I don't even know how many, countless people really, listening to you talk about the work? Like how did that feel?
So I'm on stage all the time in terms of
Right.
like for what I do, right? But not for painting. So I'm on stage for the burlesque show that I produce. I'm on stage for poetry performances. And I don't normally get nervous I get like anxious, like I need to get on stage, that kind of thing.
Like a stage fright, kind of?
No, I'm like the opposite.
Oh.
I'm amped about going on stage.
Oh.
That day is the first time I was like, I'm nervous. Like, I don't know where this is coming from.
Was it a vulnerability?
This was like, for me, it was an important show.
Yeah.
A lot of important people were there. Like my mom was there. My sister came. L'Oreal's parents came. A lot of our family was there. So it was like really important. But then it's like something I've never done before. Like in terms of like having this many people. And then Lisane was hosting the artist talk. And I don't know, anytime I talk to her, it's always like a super deep conversation. Just regular, like, hey, how was the trip to the beach today? I was like, it was great. She's like, isn't it great that the beach exists? And then my brain goes, oh shit. No, I don't know. Like, yeah, she just have, that kind of effect on me in conversation, right? And
She's just able to sort of peel back those layers.
yeah, like and I think she does this a lot. She talks to people about profound things and deep things and meaningful things. I just really like that, and I think it's powerful, and it affects me.
The third future, or the concept of the third future, what that you came up with, can you tell us about that?
So basically, the concept is that there's a future that's everybody think that's what's going to happen, right? You're going to go from this second to the next second to the next second to the next second to get to the future. And then a lot of people say, no, I want an alternative future. And they'll try to create a future that's different than the next second to the next second to the next second. Now, the third future is a future that you don't even know exists. And the goal is to create that future that doesn't even exist, that you can't even think that exists. So it's almost like you're inventing a world that doesn't exist at all.
It's like total freedom.
And it's not in the possibilities of all the things that you've been told or the alternatives to that. So it's like you're building the infrastructure from zero.
And how does that relate to your own self-portrait?
So the work this is on the path towards that. The work that I want to do and the work that I'm trying to get towards is to be able to get to the emotional parts of humans that you could see and feel the emotion. Because right now I'm still thinking about the paint and the movements and all that. I'm trying to get to a place that when you see it, you'll be like, oh, that's heartbreak. You don't even see the paint anymore. You don't see the colors anymore. You just know that that's heartbreak, or that's love, or that's joy. And that's the future that I'm trying to conjure for myself as an artist.
I think it's a really powerful concept.
Yeah.
Because we do get trapped, I think, in our own self-made psychological barriers, or maybe things that are put upon us by other people or society and all this. But I think it's a really great tool because it challenges you to think differently and take a step back and just like a breath of fresh air. So my follow-up question to this, and hopefully it's not too much of a stretch, but I'm curious what you think something like Third Future would be for this city, this community.
Oh, for Baltimore.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. The third future. So imagine a city, right, where you decide the health of the city based on the person who's at the bottom.
That's your point of reference.
That's just one point of reference.
Right.
So what happened is all the metrics that we've judged the health of a civilization, of a country, of a state, of a city, of a community is always what the top looks like.
Always.
And that is a remnant of the feudal system, where it's like, hey, the king has the greatest crown. Did you see his shoes? His crowns have all these jewels. It's great. And then the other king over here says, look at our king.
Yeah.
He has all these things. This is all great. Da-da-da. Imagine if GDP was measured by the poorest person in every country. So now the goal would be to make sure the person at the bottom is not below the bottom. So imagine that globally.
Yeah, it's a total game changer. I love that.
So just as a concept, because we keep basing everything we do based on the feudal system where there are kings and emperors, and then we say we have the best emperor. But that doesn't say anything about the actual state of humanity than it does say about the state of that one emperor.
Yeah, it shifts your priorities, right?
Yeah.
I know you and L'Oreal both have such an important role in the community right now.
Yeah.
Like, where do you sort of see your future in Baltimore?
I think one thing we've been talking about, and this is an idea that draws from New York, right? I have friends in New York who live in really small apartments. Life is rush all the time. It's a difficult city to survive in, right?
Yeah.
But they love New York. And we sat down and we spoke about, like, what is it that make them love New York so much? And it's all these small things, right? So in New York, you'll get a phone call, somebody, yo, they got this rooftop party. You show up, it's a great time. Next weekend, you go to this place, really great dinner with friends, and it's a great time. You go out one night, and it's this place in Williamsburg, behind this building, go downstairs, and you go to the speakeasy. It's amazing, and it's this great time. And what happens is people don't love New York because of the city. They love New York because of the times they've had there. And we're trying to create experiences that people fall in love with experiences and the people they have the experiences with to fall deeper in love with Baltimore. So everything we do is about curating beautiful, sexy, alluring experiences. And because that's what we do all the time, that's how, for the Burlesque show and for the events that we do, it's like, how do you give somebody a great memory? And that's a part of what we're building out. We have this other thing coming up called Boom Selector. We do the soiree, and now we're taking it to different places in the city. So you could experience these places in a different way, in a different feel, because people ask us all the time, like, you love Baltimore? I'm like, I love it. It's great, because all the places that we've been to, we try to make it be a great experience. And they say, really? I'm like, yeah, it's a great city. The city has great architecture, great people. Like, I know there's some issues, but those issues exist everywhere. And if those issues don't exist, there are other issues that exist. So it's like we fall in love with the beautiful parts, and the parts that's not as beautiful, we try to make those better.
Ainsley, it's been awesome. I want to make sure people can find you online. Tell us about what you've got going on as well. Okay,
so my main place that you could find me right now, AinsleyBurrowsArt.com. That's AinsleyBurrowsArt.com. Everything I do is on there. And if you sign up, then you'll get on my mailing list, and I'll tell you about all the things we have happening in the city of Baltimore. Art Soiree is going to be every month we do it. This year, we're doing it a little different. We're doing the Art Soiree that's going to be at my studio, at our place, on 2700 Greenmount. But also, we're doing this thing called a Tiny Soiree. We take the soiree into different places.
Love it. Love it. Well, it's been a pleasure. It's always a pleasure talking.
Yo, thank you for having me, man.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
We should do this every week. Once a week. We just sit here and just talk.
I would.
Yeah.
Thanks so much to Ainsley for joining the podcast, and thanks to you for listening. Remember, if you're a creative person with a story to share, please reach out to me at srustin@promotionarts.org to be on the podcast. And remember, when creatives thrive, we all rise.